Okay, you're a high ticket closer. You are on a call. At the end of the call, and all of a sudden you hear, okay, I'm going to think about it, or I'm going to delay, or I'm going to do whatever that is not moving forward, because this is how I always do things. Because I have a rule, and I always like to take 24 hours to pray on it, to sleep on it. Have you been in this situation where they just state and they share with you a rule they have or something that they've always done? What do we do in these situations, especially when they come at you with a very strong frame? Some cases, even like, okay, thank you so much. You've been super helpful. This is what I'm about to do next. This is what I'm going to do next. This is how I always make decisions. All right. So if you don't have a clear plan on how to tackle those situations, whenever someone shares with you a rule or this is how I always do things, this video is for you, because I'm going to share a fragment of one of my coaching sessions where I talk about this. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I used to address the fact that the guy was doubting himself about the possibility of like having a way out, like going on this opportunity and then seeing results. And we both agreed on the fact that he was doubting himself. But then at the end of the call, he still told me, "Yeah, I'm not ready to take the decision because I need to rethink about it, and that's the way I think and the way I do, like the way I take decisions." And it was like strange and an uncomfortable situation because it was clear that anything was like logical. It wasn't logical because he knew
Yeah.
that, but at the same
You
time he wanted to hop off like the call and think
you
about
have to go all in there, brother. You have to burn the lead. Not in a bad way. You cannot give up on this guy potential. If they close you on why they cannot do things, or you close them on why they actually can.
it.
Right? You just gotta stay there. You just gotta go. Exactly, brother. You're not ready. And that's why you are here with me. If you were ready, you wouldn't need me. If you were ready, you wouldn't need me. You'll be flying with the eagles. Of course you're not ready. I don't need you to be ready. You to be able to bet on yourself. Right?
Yeah.
If you bet on yourself, I'll take off the rest until then, until you get to a place where you can just solely rely on your own confidence. Right now, I don't expect you to be fully confident. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. That's one way of going about it. But you could just you have to go for the kill. Like, you cannot let this guy off the hook. Exactly, brother. That makes sense because we always make decisions based on where we're at. And that's why you are where you're at, because you've always made decisions this way. If you want to change, if you want to become this person, you have to make decisions from this place. Because if you keep doing the things that you've always done, do you think that anything will ever change? That's how I've always done things. And the way you've always done things has led you to be in this place where you work 40 hours a week, you commute 2 hours a day, you don't have the weekends to see your family. Do you genuinely feel that anything will ever change? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, how? Things are going to change if you've always done the same thing that has led you to be where you're at today.
Yeah.
Isn't that a hamster wheel? But what happens if you continue to think that way and you continue to make decisions based on where you're at, not based on where you want to be? What happens? 1 day, 1 week, 1 year. What happens? Oh, this will happen. That will happen. Now you're willing to settle for that. Is that what you came to this world for? No. Why not? Because everybody settles for that. You can do one of the 99% as well. Why you are not one of the 99%? Oh, because I have this goal. So what do you feel you need to do today? Tomorrow you're one step closer to becoming that person. I'm just not going to make a decision today, brother. Like, that's not who I am. Yeah, I know. Who you are has led you to be where you're at today. You cannot give up in that sense. You burn the lead, you get the guy to do it or to hang up on you.
Yeah, completely agree. In fact, I told him I would prefer like that you would say no instead of saying I just need to think about it, because thinking about it wouldn't be the solution, because I would bet 90% within an hour you would say no. So why wait an hour to say no when instead you can say no here on the call? So why aren't you saying no, but at the same time you need to think about it? And he told me, just because I need to consider other options. But I think this is the opportunity for me. But at the same time, I told to myself before of jumping on this call that I wouldn't take the decision during the call. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just like some made up rules that people made that keeps them in the reality they are at.
Paulo, like in these kinds of situations, there's always like this little voice telling me like, hey, like what if this is a sincere guy wants to join the program, but he's just a guy that likes to think over things. Like I could be the kind of guy when I invest in the program 5 or 10K or whatsoever, I could be the guy that's convinced, but just telling him like, hey, I'm not gonna make a decision on the spot. However, if I would know what the closer is, and I would have a closer telling me like, hey, yeah, I know you're not gonna make this is who you are, this is why you are where you are right now. Of course, you say it in a better way, but there's always this little voice telling me like, right now he could do it maybe in an hour or tomorrow or whatsoever, but now I'm creating that vibe where he maybe is not going to do it at all because he's noticing that I'm trying to pull him over the stripe, over the, so there's always this thing like, should I do it or should I not do it? Should I do it or should I not do it?
Yeah. And I hear you, like, again, like, I'm not a guy of a black and white approaches. I'm totally with you and a lot of you. And I know because I work with you guys and we've had conversations. And I know that a lot of you've had closes because you let this guy process thing and have another follow-up call. I know I've done that as well. So we know that world exists. I'm not saying what you're saying is not true. Like, we all know it is true. We all know that some people, if we give them a little bit of space, they close. But it's more towards the numbers. It's more towards you being a high performer. What puts you in the best position possible to be the best high performer you can be? A lot of the times, I'm not saying all the times, but most of the times for most people that they are not there, they don't have that intuition developed already, is what is the move? Like, what is the most efficient move? And the most efficient move, if you don't have that intuition developed, is just go for the close. Just close. Closer is close. Because the thought pattern as a closer, okay? The pattern that leads us to book a follow-up call because we're not sure is the same pattern that's gonna take us to a place where we have 1,000 lead pipeline. Good luck managing that, bro. It's good luck managing that freaking damn thick pipeline. So at a high performing level, man, like, I would just, if I'm not sure, I would just rather go for the close, have a lean pipeline. Yes, I might lose a couple of deals because I should have give them space, but the vast majority of deals were there to be closed, I will close them. And the numbers, are positive. Like, I will close more by having this approach than booking more people that I should into follow-ups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But of course, ideally, I'm with you. Ideally, you have your intuition developed and you know which one is I gotta go all in with this guy and which one is I have to give space to this guy. That's what everybody should strive for or should aim for. I'm with you 100%.
Okay, but like eventually you're concluding that if you always just go for the close, at the end it will bring you more than it costs you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, all the time. And it will make you a better closer because if you have this approach, your pipeline will be leaner, you have less people in your pipeline, and the people that you have in your pipeline will be more valuable. As opposed to the typical closer that is afraid to make the move, is afraid to go for the kill, and he has 1,000 leads in his pipeline of 1,000 maybes, which is another pain in the ass to handle. Do you know what I mean? But of course, like, again, like, I'm not a black and white. Like, I don't believe that, you should always burn the lead. No follow-ups. No, dude, like, no. But if you don't know and you're developing yourself still, then it's better to do that approach because you're going to close more.
Okay, makes sense. Cool.
Awesome.
All right, that's it for this video. If you like it, smash the like button. It really helps the channel and also tells me that, hey, maybe I should do more of these videos. Number 2, share your biggest takeaway down in the comments below. Just one biggest takeaway. I would love to know. I read all the comments. And number 3, if you have a request for a video or a specific challenge you're facing as a high-ticket closer or in your calls, share it down below or share it privately in my Instagram. I'm more than happy to have that in mind for future videos. I'll see you in the next one.